Meet what's left of Bad Boy, gang founder Johnny Whiteboy.
I have a rap sheet that's pretty long. Attempt murders, assaults, kidnapping, possession of handguns, narcotics.
He could talk to you 1 minute and he would slice your throat if he had to.
I got like 13 buckshots from a shotgun. I was hit with 3 9mm and a 25 in my stomach.
He was shot like 8 times and he survived. They used to call him 9 lives.
Now Johnny Montalvo tries to turn his life around.
He was the menace, and now he's the solution.
You live by the knife, you die by the knife. If you live by the gun, you die by the gun.
Tonight, street life, one man's struggle.
From ABC News, this is Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting from Washington, Chris Bury.
Let's get one thing straight from the outset. Johnny Montalvo, the man we are profiling tonight, is no hero. Indeed, for most of his life, he has been a brutal thug, a drug-dealing gangster who has shot and stabbed with no apparent remorse. Now he is crippled after being shot himself on no fewer than 8 separate occasions. That said, Johnny Montalvo's story is compelling because it reflects a common struggle in so many American neighborhoods ravaged by gangs, guns, and drugs. The constant tug between the street life and the straight life. For people like him, it is rarely as easy as just choosing one or the other. Now, the once feared Brooklyn gang leader trains for wheelchair races. In 1995, he joined a group called the Gun Runners, comprised of other young men and women disabled in America's urban warfare. They speak out against gangs and violence, holding up their own broken bodies as stark examples of how not to live. For more than a year, independent producer John Baynard followed Johnny Montalvo as he moved from homeless shelter into his mother's place and finally to his own apartment. Along the way, he wavered between his new life as an urban missionary and his old as a gangster. But one role in particular seemed to influence him more than any other, that of single parent. He's fathered 3 children but has custody of only one, his 3-year-old son. The story of Johnny Montalvo could easily be a modern morality tale if only life were that simple.
I guess it's true what they say when it's your time to go. There's no escaping it. I guess it ain't my time to go. I had a vision of death when I came so close.
I'm John Montalvo. A lot of my friends know me as Johnny Whiteboy.
When I heard his name in the street, it was just someone that me, as a wife and a mother at the time, would cross the street to avoid.
He was too wild, you know. He was like a pit bull without a leash, you know.
I used to think he had 9 lives, Johnny. But he been shot, stabbed, and he should still come back. I thought he had 9 lives. Like, you can't get rid of him.
This is Johnny Whiteboy. He's a legend, and not even a good superhero legend. He's a legend of a gangster legend.
We are really glad to have with us today John Montalvo, who's a member of the Gun Runners Club. We're going to hear his story, so please welcome him.
I started in the gangs when I was 9 years old. During that time, I was involved in little kiddie stuff, which eventually involved criminal activities such as stealing cars and doing burglaries. By age 11, I was already carrying a strap, and I was in a more organized gang called the Young Rican Saints. We stole cars, sold drugs, had shootings, and so forth. I've shot people, I've stabbed people, but that's the only further I can go. There's a camera there. There's a lot of things that are out there that kids don't know about, and someone should try to share with them, you know, the possibilities of winding up in a wheelchair or winding up in prison for the rest of their lives or winding up dead. Now, I've been shot 8 different occasions. I've been hit with 9mm, 380s, 38s, 25s, 45s, bust shot for shotguns. I was stabbed twice. I was ripped with a razor from my temporalis to my chin. October 24th, 1988, I was put in a wheelchair. I was hit 3 times that night. with a 380. And my life hasn't been the same ever since. No more stairs, right? I didn't want to be in a wheelchair, you know. I couldn't face the reality that I was in a wheelchair. That kind of made me think a lot crazier, you might say. I just had no remorse for life. I didn't even care about my life.
Everybody knew John. You know, some people feared him, some people respected him, and to him, all of a sudden, he's in his chair, now he's handicapped.
That was an edge they had on him in the beginning. That's what he thought.
Yeah, like...
He thought this is a weakness.
Now I gotta show them I'm more. Now I gotta show them I'm better, you know?
I only knew his reputation in the street, which was ruthless. His exact words, without sounding, you know, able to say this, but he just didn't give a f***. It was nothing that he cared about. And that was the reputation he had in the street. He could talk to you 1 minute and he would slice your throat if he had to. Not that he would do it out of sheer pleasure. There's a difference between people. Like, there's some people out there in the street now who just do things just because they're not all there. John would do it because he had a purpose, and if he had to do something to you, he would do it himself and look at you straight in the face and say, I did this to you because you did this to me.
Most indubitably 91.5.
Tune in, we diving inside the issues of crime, disease, drugs and sex. Expect to find intellectual minds.
Life, harsh waters reporters.
I'm the hood Tom Brokaw.
I'm the ghetto Barbara Walters.
Hi, this is Susan Monsack, and we're back on the air with Teen Talk Live. But we're going to talk a little bit about being a victim of violence. Johnny, who is here with the gun runners, is somewhat paralyzed due to street violence.
How were you a victim of drugs, gangs, and violence?
I wouldn't exactly call it a victim. When I participated in the activities that I involved myself in, I knew that there was going to be some harsh repercussions. I wasn't really scared of dying. The money was good. You know, like I said, I've used it, I've sold it, you know. I can break down a key, you know. It was my way of life, you know. It don't matter what, it's always in the back of my head. Some criminal activities will always come, you know, in the back of my head. You know, I can't change fully, you know, but I can try to make things better and not involve myself in those criminal activities, which I know will lead me to go to prison for the rest of my life. What's changed my life dramatically is having my son. You know, he's 3 years old. His name is John. Come on, we could cross. Cross, Johnny. And it's not easy. Go, run across, go. It's hard. I'm 36 years old right now, and me raising my 3-year-old son is the hardest thing I've ever done. This way, that way.
For a former criminal living the straight life has many challenges. More of the Johnny Montalvo story when we come back.
I have a rap sheet that's pretty long, and that rap sheet consists of attempt murders, assaults, kidnapping, truck jacking, grand larceny, auto, possession of handguns, narcotics, you name it, it's there. But now is where I'm starting to suffer, because now is where, since 1995, I've been trying to get my life together. And at this point in time, I'm raising a 3-year-old son on my own. I'm a single parent. His mother is doing 6 to life in Albion Correctional Facility for selling close to 1 kilo of cocaine to an undercover cop. My name is John. When John was born, that was one of my happiest days of my life. It was an overwhelming experience, you know, to know, you know, I got a child. Now it's time for me to change my life and dedicate all my time and the responsibility to take care of him. Okay.
Some people just have kids and it don't mean nothing to them. They still out there doing their thing. Now, for him, that's his world right there. It's all about his son. So he can't be out there shooting somebody for no reason because he ain't thinking about his son.
There's nothing wrong.
I think I see it. I mean, he hasn't come right out and say it, but I think he actually feels he has something to live for. I see it in his face. When he talks, now he talks about the future. He never talked about future, whether it was a day or a week, never. Talked about the past. He lived in the past.
You give me a kiss? You give me a kiss?
And John's trying to do the right thing because he sees now that it affects John. So he tries so hard. I see him, John would bottle and let's change him. When John first brought the baby to the house, he was little, right? He would sit him on his lap in his wheelchair and I'd say, John, let me change for you. No, I have to learn how to do this. And he would change the baby's diaper on his lap and, and it was hysterical to see big, tough Johnny White Boy coming with a baby bag strapped to his wheelchair.
Yeah. To be a single parent, it is pretty hard. Sometimes I wonder how the young ladies out there can have 2 or 3 kids a shot, We'll get it when we come back. Oh, God. But it's kind of hard at times, to have him 7 days a week, You're pissing me off. Now you're not going to watch no Pokemon because you're not listening. It's not an easy task. It's fun sometimes doing it, but sometimes you have your setbacks where, if he doesn't listen or if you have to keep repeating yourself and, especially in the condition that I'm in, God forbid that if I tell him to stop while we're crossing the street and he doesn't listen and he continues going on, I can't catch him as fast. Come on, John, let's go. I moved in with my mom because unfortunately my criminal record haunted me. I was unable to get Section 8 or housing. Whenever I'm denied housing or anything because of my criminal record, my past, it upsets me. And it upsets me to the point where it sets me back to where I used to do the things that I used to do in order to make money. And I would say, damn, if I was able to do that again, and there was a chance I could get away with it, would I really do it? Yeah, I probably would do it because it's something that's helping me get the things that I want to get, like an apartment. It doesn't come easy. You have to pay rent, security, real estate, and sometimes I say, damn, I could do it in order to pay all that, and then after that, then I could just use my SSI and then, whatever I can to pay the rent. But then you start to think, wow, if I do this, and then if I did get caught, then I lose John, you got all these things to look at, and that's what keeps me in line. I have a responsibility now, that's my son. And if I get locked up, who is he gonna go? To a foster care, foster parents? Give me a kiss. Mwah. You me a good boy? I can't see somebody really give their heart fully to someone like I would give it to him, That's my son, I would go all out. I would give him everything I can. If I got to die for him, I'm gonna die for him. That's my son.
Real ones, you know what I mean? Ow. Yeah.
Soy reconocido para así cantar a la girla y llevármelas conmigo desde el fondo de una loma. Yo chiquito empecé, pero fue pasando el time.
I lost my cars, I lost my old lady, I lost everything. And why? Because I let the streets influence me. And if you let the streets influence you, believe me, there's 3 alternatives. You can wind up in prison, you can wind up dead, but you can wind up in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. And this is a lifetime bid. As long as you participate in drugs, gangs, you have those 3 alternatives. Right, anybody else got any more questions?
When you dropped out of the gang, did any of the people that you was affiliated with try to turn on you?
Nah, because when I retired, they already knew I was crazy, My boys was like, let them retire. And then by me retiring, one of my club brothers took over for me, so I didn't have to worry about none of that.
So doing crime or gang busting, that's easy to you. Going to work and trying to live a straight life, that's hard for you because you don't know that part. So to change, it's like a baby learning to crawl. We gotta learn to do good, and that's the process I'm doing now. But it don't come like overnight. I'm not hanging out no more, I'm gonna be a good guy from now on. It's not like that.
I can't explain it to you because you gotta live it. We was in gangs. It's a totally different attitude. from where we are now. Now we just civilians, you know, we work, you know, we still got that, you know, that thug inside of us, but you know, everybody got a family. We family people now, you know. All the guys that were in old school, they mostly them either died, got shot, or either died of AIDS or been incarcerated for the last 25 years. You know, we like dinosaurs. You know?
There was 13
I mean,
of us left.
You can count us now with your both hands. You know.
Dynamite, Flash, Gano, Cholo, and I can name them all because it's all a handful. Not too many of us left. If you have an opportunity to get out of it while you're still young. You just let them know, you know, you don't want to be a part of the gang. You want to, you know, fulfill your life dreams or whatever. You try to do the right thing, go to school and get a job, and, you know, you could make something out of yourself. Yep. You're still young. You're 13 years old. Yep. It's been very beneficial to me because it's not only helped me to try to teach these kids that that's not the way of life, but it also helps me to rehabilitate myself. So it's all good, you know what I'm saying? And it's like being out there selling drugs and, you know, trying to get paid. The only thing is, I don't get it in green, you know, I get it within my heart, you know, helping someone, you know what I'm saying? So if you got a chance to get out of it, get out of it, bro. All right? Hold up, bro. You king too? Yeah. That's all good. And now I have this place here, and fortunately everything's been working out so far. You know, I've been little by little getting the furniture and, you know, trying to make ends meet. I know eventually John's going to want to do what he wants to do because he's going to feel that, you know, he's a grown man already and so forth. And there might be a time I'm not going to be able to stop him, but I will be there by his side to try to express to him that if he takes that route, just to look at me, you know. I want him to understand I'm going to be there every step of the way of his life, whether he's 10 years old, 20 years old, 30, 40. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to be there by your side. Whether you're wrong or right, I'm going to be there for you. I'm not going to let nobody hurt you. But, you know, please take the heed that I want you to do right. I want you to, you know, make me proud and do something good. Hopefully he'll probably be a cop or a lawyer or something, you know. He'll probably do something that's going to be beneficial to him in life. I'm trying to change my life to the fullest because I have a 3-year-old son that I'm raising on my own. You know, I want a life for my son. And this is why I have to do what I have to do in order for him to understand that being in the streets 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, smoking your blunt and all that, you know, it's all good, you know what I'm saying? But as long as you get your education, you try to do the right thing, don't involve yourself in any gang activities, you can hang out with them, it's all good, you know what I'm saying? But don't join. So, you know, I hope you guys take the heed, get your education. You know, the gang that you have is your family, you know what I'm saying? Trying to build a life so that you're able to look out for your mom, your dad, you know? I think I have a chance to try to be a man and have a responsibility and go out there and get what I know I can get, whether it's an education, whether it's a job. You know, let me go out there and try to do this.
You know, I see hope for John in this, you know? He changed. People that know him from the past, you know, say that Johnny has changed totally. You know, a whole 360 degrees, you know, he changed. You know, from where he used to be.
He was the biggest problem at one point in the area. He was the menace, and now he's the solution.
My God, he has an angel on his wing, right? Because
he does have a very, very powerful guardian angel. He's gone through hell and back, this guy. And then the funny thing is, everybody says he's gone through hell and back, but I think he's done guided tours on his own down there too.
You can't hold a strong man down. Bullet holes didn't hold me down. Stab wounds, razor rip in my face. Yeah, it's funny that it took my son to change my life. You're good, okay? Because if it wasn't for him, I probably would be getting in trouble, you know, because there's no responsibility, you know, I don't have nothing to worry about. But, you know, I have a responsibility now, and that's my son. All right. I would have to sit him down and really express to him, you know, my ways of life and, you know, what he's put me through and why I'm in this wheelchair today as he speaks to me. And he has to make that decision, you know. I would do everything in my means to show him that ain't the way of life, but he's left with this, you know, with the decision at the end, and I'm just hoping that it'll be the right decision.
I'll be back with a final note in a moment. In his struggle to escape the street life, Johnny Montalvo has had several serious, if temporary, setbacks. Last August, he was arrested at the body shop where he worked when police found stolen cars inside. Those charges were thrown out. In 1999, he spent 7 months in jail before being acquitted of helping a friend flee a drive-by shooting. Now he claims his days of crime are over, but it's clear his struggle is not. That's our report for tonight. I'm Chris Bury in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.